Good afternoon and welcome to Leeds Hacks News. I'm Sophie Burgess.
And I'm Raj Baines. Here are today's headlines. Leeds prepares for Mad Friday.
The Force has finally been awoken. The new Star Wars film lands in Leeds.
And the top-selling Christmas toys this year. But first, councils across Yorkshire and the Humber have agreed to take around 1,500 Syrian refugees as part of the government's resettlement programme.
It comes as the first of those refugees began settling in the region this week. Liam Jackson reports.
Yorkshire has agreed to take in around 1,500 refugees following a commitment by the UK government to offer sanctuary to 20,000 people from Syria. Along with other regions of Yorkshire, Leeds has received 50 refugees already, with a further 175 to arrive in 2016-2017. Migration Yorkshire is currently working along with councils as well as government to help the new families settle in. David Brown, head of Migration Yorkshire, said it's the right number, it's a fair number and it's about right for the population size compared to the national figure of 20,000. We spoke to John Beach, Director of Leeds Asylum Seekers Support Network.
1,500 is a good start. I think that certainly I can talk about it from a Leeds perspective. We said a couple hundred in the next 2 years and then we'll revise it, see what we can do and take stock and see what is possible. I think it's a really important thing that if we are taking folk, that we're able to do a good job, that we're able to make sure that they're housed, that they're schooled, that they've got the medical care that's provided for them. But it's also important too that that doesn't overload local services, because the worst thing in the world is to invite a bunch of people over and find you haven't got enough. So it's a good start, and I'm quite confident that there will be more. We should do more, we need to take more. We've got 50 Syrian people who've arrived in the months. We're doing a good job by them. We shouldn't overload our public services, but we do have capacity to do more, I think.
The first refugee family arrived in the city this week as part of the government's resettlement programme. This may have been a long time coming, but it would seem as the future's bright for Leeds' refugees. I'm Liam Jackson for Leeds Hacks News.
A Pontefract man has appeared in court charged with criminal damage and rape. Natasha Pilling was at the hearing at Leeds Crown Court and has this report for us.
As Christmas draws nearer, workers all around Leeds are looking forward to starting their festive breaks with a bang.
Mad Friday, as it's affectionately known, hasn't passed without incident over the years. We sent Adam van der Veer out to find how the city is preparing.
Yorkshire Police are preparing for the maddest Friday yet tomorrow, as experts predict that 999 calls will surge by 50% over the next 48 hours.
Mad Friday, also known as Black Eye Friday, is traditionally known as the time of year where people break up for the Christmas holiday and has been known for its history of boozed-up violence. The police have released a statement warning the people of Leeds about the dangers of going out in an attempt to reduce the amount of calls this year.
While we want people to enjoy themselves, we want them to do it safely and without putting themselves or other people at risk. We will be working closely with licensees, door staff and our local authority partners to keep people safe.
I headed down to Mission to meet the owner, Terry George.
Well, Mad Friday is traditionally one of the busiest nights in the city that we have, and of course with it coming up, we're making a special event of it. What tends to happen on a Mad Friday is people break up from work and then that's it, they don't go back to work again until after Christmas. So traditionally Mad Friday has been like probably one of the busiest nights we've ever had. Of course we're providing entertainment, and Mad Friday is the name of a night which most people say it's mad because there's more people out in town, and of course there's a higher risk to people being out and about, and obviously more risk of conflict. But what we do is we have our security, we monitor people, we don't just let anybody in, we monitor people and make sure that they're not too drunk, make sure that they fit the standards of coming in, and if there's anybody who looks like they're out to cause trouble then they wouldn't get into any of our venues.
The chances are that the streets of Leeds could be quiet tonight, but it could prove to be the calm before the storm. Leeds Hacks News, Adam van der Veer reports.
A change of tone now, and United States presidential candidate Donald Trump found himself in hot water following his controversial comments calling for Muslims to be banned from entering the United States. In new developments, Nobel Peace Prize winner Malala Yousafzai has called his views tragic and full of hatred.
She added that his plans to bar Muslims from the US would only serve to embolden terrorists. We spoke to people in Leeds to find out their thoughts on his comments.
About him coming here. It's a hate crime, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
If you banned people of other religions from going to other countries, America would still be native Indian populated, wouldn't it? So I don't really know what he's trying to do, because he must realise he can't get elected. But I don't know, he's going to split the Republican vote. So.
I really think that's like, it's like Hitler, it's like race, it's like hate speech really, and I think that if a Muslim person was saying something like that, there'd be murder and he probably wouldn't be allowed in the country, and I don't think he should be allowed in the country, and I've signed my petition yesterday, so he's not allowed in the country.
I think Donald Trump's right.
Why?
Bang right. Why? At least 1 out of 5's a terrorist, at least.
So do you think all Muslims are terrorists?
Not all of them, no, but we'll stop letting them in for now.
Yeah, I disagree, because I think it's generalising. He's saying that all Muslims are like terrorists.
Yeah, it's quite racist and it's really unfair to...
I think it's bad that someone who is like potentially running for president would be saying something like that.
The number of signatures on the online petition calling for Trump to be banned from the UK is now nearing 600,000. Now, Christmas shopping can be one of the more stressful things to do around this time of year, especially if you've got little ones.
Yep, that's right. So to take all the pressure off all the parents out there, we sent Molly Hammond into Leeds City Centre to investigate the biggest Christmas toy trends of 2015.
With Christmas Eve only a week away, parents will be rushing around to get their last bits and pieces before the big day. We've come to the Entertainer in the Trinity Centre in Leeds to find out what's been the most popular items through the till this year. We spoke to James, the store manager at the Entertainer, about the biggest toy trends of 2015.
Yeah, the toys that have been very popular this Christmas are amazingly, it's a different one to last year. And what I mean by that, initially last year it was Frozen. Yes, Frozen's in it this year, however, Paw Patrol is being the #1 toy. Paw Patroller, which was a transporter vehicle for them, was around about £60. Was sold out in mid-November, and people who are wanting one now have to get them directly from America.
While Paw Patrol has been a recent hit, the board game Pie Face was the early pace setter.
Pie Face was sort of released last year and was successful after Lewis Hamilton on Jonathan Ross show. But since August it went viral on YouTube with a little boy doing it, and we haven't been able to get the stock.
I saw that.
So this year Pie Face has been very intermittent, but everybody wants it.
Hopefully we've given anyone struggling for ideas a little Christmas inspiration, and the Entertainer is a perfect place to come for any last minute deals. Wishing you a Merry Christmas from me and this little guy, and a Happy New Year. I'm Molly Hammond reporting for Leeds Tax News.
Now Raj, may the force be with you.
Thanks, Sophie. Well, the newest instalment of the Star Wars film series was released today, so we sent Jack Pern along to a galaxy far, far away to find out more.
So today marks the eagerly anticipated release of the new Star Wars film The Force Awakens. We came down to the Everyman Cinema here in Leeds Trinity to speak to a member of staff who was working the 12 o'clock showing last night.
Yeah, it's just really busy, packed out.
Was there a lot of excitement around?
Yeah, I think so. They're all like really big fans who were coming for midnight showing, so yeah, I think the staff were pretty excited for it to long awaited.
Yeah, and was there anyone dressed up at all?
Yeah, there was a couple of like sort of big fans dressed up, a couple of Princess Leias knocking about, but yeah, not as many as I thought, to be honest, but yeah, a few.
Are you expecting it to be busy like all week then?
Yeah, pretty much sold out for about 5 days now. We've got a showing like every hour for the next like 2 weeks, so yeah, pretty busy.
The film's release coincides with a recent report which found that Leeds is home to the biggest Jedi population in the UK, with 2,812 who can feel the Force amongst us. We tried to find a Jedi on their way to today's first screening.
I wouldn't say I was a Jedi, but I think it's everybody's, every boy's fantasy that inside they are a Jedi. I have tried using my Jedi powers on certain things, mainly on the automatic bins where you just go over them if I'm pretending to be a Jedi, but that's about as far as it goes.
The film, which is the 6th in the famed series, has already received 5-star reviews across the board and will be shown regularly in cinemas over the Christmas period. I'm Jack Payne, reporting for Leeds Tax News. May the force be with you.
Now it's time to take a look at the sports news. Lucy Chapman is here for us with a roundup.
Football first. Leeds United manager Steve Evans has urged players to give the club half a chance at securing a playoff spot as January transfer talks progress. Evans met with owner Massimo Solino on Tuesday ahead of the opening of FIFA window in 2 weeks' time. Rotherham United's Redfern also commented saying the massive January transfer window has the potential to make or break the Leeds squad's hopes of promotion. Leeds are due to play Wolves later on tonight. On to rugby now. Hull KR's new head of rugby, Jamie Peacock, has revealed Leeds Rhinos boss Brian McDermott may be joining him in the training ranks in Headingley. Former England captain Peacock brought his illustrious career and a decade with the Rhinos to a close in fine fashion by helping Leeds to the treble this season. He has now taken up his new role working for the Super League and will await news of the possibility of working with McDermott. Meanwhile, in Rugby Union, Kevin Sinfield has recently been nominated for the Sports Personality of the Year honour after relishing the challenges of changing to work with Rugby Union. The ex-player says being nominated for the BBC's Sports Personality of the Year has been really humbling, and he is honoured to be representing Rugby League on the shortlist of nominees for the main award.
Now, the question on everybody's lips, are we going to be getting a white Christmas?
Fingers crossed. Here's Jack Payne with the weather.
Well, those of you hoping for a white Christmas will be disappointed. Today's forecast is looking mostly cloudy, despite highs of 14 degrees, and tomorrow is shaping up in similar fashion, before showers, which are expected over the course of the weekend and on to next week.
One studio.
The chances of that white Christmas are looking ever slimmer. Maybe next year.
Indeed, unfortunately, that's all we've got time for. And from everybody here at Leeds Hacks, we'd like to wish you a very Merry Christmas.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.